We're back continuing the theme of what is public administration. This lecture is on the eras of public administration. We said last time that public administration is both time-bound and contextual. This discussion highlights those principles. So why study the evolution of it? Understanding the past helps us navigate the present. The current practice of public administration, or our current theoretical trends indeed, are developed over time. Public administration begins as a field built out of law and political science and sociology and others around the 1880s. And there's a timeline here of old public administration, new PA, new public management, new public service, and new public governance. Let's go through each one of these quickly. So, old public administration, there's this notion of a science of administration. The core principles here are another public administration dichotomy, the politics administration dichotomy. There's a clear separation of the policy making and policy implementation. We discussed both of these last year, the execution and the implementation. Here, they are completely separate. There's a notion of scientific management developed during this time, especially in the Second Industrial Revolution, as the United States and many other countries around the globe are moving towards mechanization, factory work. There's this notion of a one best way to organize work. Bureaucratic hierarchy rules during this time period. And merit-based employment, professional civil service is developed. Key figures during this time are Woodrow Wilson as a philosopher, political scientist, before he's president, Max Weber, who gives us bureaucracy, and Frederick Taylor, who's one of the leading theorists in scientific management. In old PA, in action, public works, so if we think about the practice of public administration during this time, professional firefighting model. You have trained firefighters, standardized procedures. There's a clear rank structure, firefighter, lieutenant, captain, chief, and specialized units, suppression, emergency medical services, prevention, training. All of these things, professional firefighting model, the one best way, clear rank and structure, hierarchy, specialized units, bureaucracy, all come to play here. And some of these things are still with us, even though that was the old PA period. What worked? It reduced corruption through the merit system. It increased efficiency and professionalism, and we have predictable rule-based processes. It's also slow. Bureaucracy can be dehumanizing. It's difficult for the public to actually have an influence over what bureaucracy does. And there are inequities built into that type of system. New public administration comes in and says that administration is not value neutral. These ideas of old PA, of efficiency and bureaucracy in the one best way, kind of leave out some important things. And so there's a challenge from folks who gathered at Minnowbrook to challenge the old assumptions. And this took place during the upheavals of the 1960s. Public administration looked internally and said, hey, we're missing a few things here, like things around social equity, democratic administration, representative bureaucracy, and an ethical responsibility. So in action, to keep with our firefighter example, the other two are here, community risk reduction programs, citizen advisory panels, efforts to diversify workforces, and focus on department community relations. See how that changed dramatically from the old PA to these kind of new ideas where we're actually thinking about the people that are working in these environments and the people who are being served by them. New public management brings in a 1980s style business to public administration. There's a lot of market-based reforms related to privatization, performance management, customer service, decentralization, and competition. This comes out of a movement, especially kind of reified by David Osborne and Ted Gabler in their important work, Reinventing Government. Continuing the same example, there is data-driven deployment and response time standards, performance metrics, contracting the ambulance services out, contracting fleet maintenance out to private vendors, and moving into satisfaction surveys. Again, you can see the evolution in the other ones as well. What works with new public management? Improved efficiency and some cost effectiveness, better performance management, enhanced focus on a customer service orientation, and a lot of competition through the market-based reforms. What worried the critics during now and during that time were a loss of democratic values, where we shifted over to the logic of the marketplace. There were equity concerns, where we began to think about some services being profitable and some services being unprofitable, and we would cut the latter. Public interest, we began to prize short-term efficiency over the long-term public good. And this reduced job security and professional autonomy of public civil servants because many things were contracted out to the private sector. New public service was somewhat of a reaction to this. We were thinking about serving citizens, not customers. And the name of the game was active involvement of citizens in governance, a focus on the public interest, democratic values, collaborative leadership, and kind of a long-term thinking. So sustainable solutions over quick fixes. Era 5 is new public governance, meaning that nobody governs alone. It's network-based, it's collaborative networks, it's multi-sector partnerships, government, nonprofits, private sector, citizens, co-producing and collaborating to develop our public goods and services. There's a sense of digital governance here. If you think about new public service and new public governance, in our example, you have community risk reduction partnerships with nonprofits, co-responder programs pairing social workers with first responders on mental health and homelessness calls, and neighborhood preparedness and civilian volunteer programs. These whole ideas begin to come into a number of different public environments. So just because old PA kind of took place during the 1880s to the 1960s, it doesn't mean it's not with us anymore. These things are still there. Same with new PA and the others. You see that the old PA, the clear rank structure, SOPs, professional credentialing, that's still here. New PA, equity-focused programs, workforce diversification, community partnerships, that's with us. So are performance metrics and technology investments and contracting out things. Citizen engagement, deliberative forums, those are all with us too. And collaboration does work in a number of different cases. So multi-agency task force, nonprofit partnerships, cross-sector networks, those are all with us. The current challenge and future directions within PA. What's next? The digital transformation, AI, predictive analysis, and permitting and benefits administration and inspections. I've been writing about AI and blockchain in a number of these areas. Online service portals, replacing in-person visits, real-time performance dashboards for managers and the public. So there's a number of things around equity and reform, and also the continued march of collaboration and networks. I think we could think about which era is the best for public trust, which era is the best for efficiency, which area is the best for promoting democratic participation, inequalities, complex multi-jurisdictional problems. So however these kind of approaches work in maybe your particular area that you're interested in is an interesting perhaps avenue to explore in your research, in your writing, and in your focus around your experience within public administration. So here we talked about these eras and how they responded to circumstances of their times. Modern PA draws from all five, and different situations call for different approaches. The field continues to evolve, and understanding this evolution helps us make better decisions about our current practice. Okay, that's it for this one. I'll see you for the next time.